carbon monoxide was negative.
Of death for actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy have been revealed in a press conference. March 7th, Santa Fe County authorities released more information in the couple's passing, including what led to both of their deaths.
The cause of death for Miss Betsy Hackman, aged 65 years, is hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. The manner of death is natural. Autopsy examination and full-body postmortem CT demonstrated no findings of trauma internally or externally, with microscopic findings consistent with hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. Laboratory testing was positive for hantavirus at a clinical lab, with required confirmation testing positive at Scientific Laboratories Division. Testing for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses was negative. Testing for carbon monoxide was negative. There were no other significant natural disease findings. Pills present on scene were thyroid medication, which were being taken as prescribed and is not currently a concern for a contributory cause of death. The cause of death for Mr. Gene Hackman, aged 95 years, is hypertensive and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease, with Alzheimer's disease as a significant contributory factor. Autopsy examination and a full-body postmortem CT examination demonstrated no acute findings of internal or external trauma and showed severe heart disease, including multiple surgical procedures involving the heart, evidence of prior heart attacks, and severe changes of the kidneys due to chronic high blood pressure. Examination of the brain showed advanced Alzheimer's disease, as well as blood vessel changes in the brain secondary to chronic high blood pressure. Laboratory testing performed at Scientific Laboratories Division was negative for COVID-19, influenza, and other common respiratory viruses. Testing for hantavirus was negative. Testing for carbon monoxide was negative. Additionally, there were no autopsy findings concerning for hantavirus infection. Asked when death occurred for these individuals. There is no reliable scientific method to accurately determine the exact time or date of death. Hackman's initial pacemaker data revealed cardiac activity on February 17th, with subsequent pacemaker interrogation demonstrating an abnormal rhythm of atrial fibrillation on February 18th, which was the last record of heart activity. Based on this information, it is reasonable to conclude that Mr. Hackman probably died around February 18th. Based on the circumstances, it is reasonable to conclude that Ms. Hackman passed away first, with February 11th being the last time that she was known to be alive. Lastly, clinically, hantavirus infection is characterized by flu-like symptoms consisting of fever, muscle aches, cough, sometimes vomiting and diarrhea that can progress to shortness of breath and cardiac or heart failure and lung failure. This occurs after a 1 to 8 week exposure to excrement from a primarily mouse species that carries hantavirus. The mortality of hantavirus, the mortality rate of the hantavirus strain in the Southwest is about 38 to 50%.
The Santa previously confirmed to NBC News that the
Santa Fe County Sheriff's Office previously confirmed to NBC News that the 95-year-old actor who won 2 Academy Awards during his acting career was found dead. February 26th in his Santa Fe, New Mexico home, alongside his wife, a 64-year-old classical pianist, and one of their 3 dogs. Authorities said in a February 27th statement, foul play is not suspected as a factor in those deaths. At this time, however, exact cause of death has not been determined. Hours later, NBC News obtained an affidavit submitted by authorities to obtain a search warrant that deemed the circumstances surrounding the couple's death to be, quote, suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation. The affidavit also stated per the outlet that Erica's body, which was found in the home's bathroom next to a space heater and a bottle of pills that was, quote, open with pills scattered on the countertop, was already showing visual indications of decomposition, including, quote, mummification, in both hands and feet, suggesting Betsy had been deceased for more than a day. NBC News reports that the affidavit said her husband was discovered in the kitchen area of the house and suspected to have suddenly fallen, adding that he was in a similar state as his wife. Upon their arrival, Gene and Betsy had been married since 1991.